The topics and opinions expressed on the following show are solely those of the hosts and their guests and not those of W4WN Radio, its employees, or affiliates. We make no recommendations or endorsements for radio show programs, services, or products mentioned on air or on our web. No liability, explicit or implied, shall be extended to W4WN Radio, its employees, or affiliates. Any questions or comments should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for choosing W4WN Radio.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to my radio and TV show, Debi Changes Lives. I'm Debbie, your certified holistic health coach. With the W, I am passionate about revitalizing people's lives by helping them identify the root causes of their health issues. And I create a custom natural holistic strategy to address them from mind, body, and soul. And as a health coach, I'm not allowed to tell you that I treat, cure, heal, prevent, or diagnose any diseases. I certainly can make your body more efficient by reducing symptoms, and you'll feel better, you'll be more productive, and you will enjoy life a lot more. And I am so excited. Oh, I got in the mail. It's my book, Rising Women, and it's an Amazon bestseller, and you can get it for $20 or $25 for a signed copy. And you go to my link tree at https://www.debi changes lives live as in Victor es.com/link tree. And I want you to not forget about my beach reveal retreat, where I created a brand new 6-month weight release journey, where it's tied in with you writing a chapter in a book at a retreat in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. The dates for that is November 6th to the 13th. And you get more details from looking at my show, which is on https://bit.ly, BITLY /beach Beach Reveal Show. That's Beach Reveal Show for the end. Today, I am so honored to have Marcia Zigler here to talk about the power of gratitude. And Marcia will be up soon. And what's really wonderful is that, gratitude has so much going on. And Marcia actually has a degree in clinical psychology and has worked with people to better their lives. Now she is a mortgage broker, and getting a mortgage can't be stressful. Isn't it great that she has that master's degree in clinical psychology? And with that, she'll get you through that paperwork, but sometimes you feel like you're signing off your first child, I gotta admit. Welcome to the show, Marcia.
Thank you, Debbie. Happy to be here, truly.
And her company is Mortgages with Marcia. But today we're going to talk about the power of gratitude in light of Thanksgiving. So gratitude is just not a fleeting emotion. It's a powerful force that helps you reshape your perspective, enhance your well-being, cultivate resilience during life's challenges. And we're going to talk about our practices, aren't we?
Yes, absolutely. Yes, we are.
And it's interesting that it's a good time for me to do this because it's Thanksgiving week. And with the history of Thanksgiving, people have been doing this for years. But, I personally get together with my friends and family during Thanksgiving week and count my blessings toward the end of the year. What about you, Marcia?
I absolutely do. I count my blessings every morning when I wake up. So I say a gratitude and grateful. I think it's starting with those little things in life. I say my gratitude for my bed, for supporting me all night, and my sheets and blankets. because like I just said, it's a great way to start the day. And I think Thanksgiving is a time for us to be around family and friends and to share our gratitude with them and the relationships that we have established with them. So it's just a special time of year that reinforces how important gratitude is to have in our lives.
And it's interesting, it comes right after the time change. where we have longer nights and it's kind of dark outside. So
absolutely, it's so dark so early right now.
So if you think about, people have been doing this for centuries, and it was basically, they were celebrating harvest.
I was just going to say it was set up for farmers, right?
Yeah.
It's interesting that, as far as evolving, that we still in society today still adhere to that, time changing the clocks, like, and still keeping that alive.
Yes, we certainly do. And some people just go, ugh, regarding the time changes. But, what's really great about gratitude, not only sharing it with our friends and family and our blessings, but it gives us good practice when we do that. It fosters positivity in your life, and when people are in a dark space, and I know you've probably been with a lot of people that have been in dark space, looking at the little bits of gratitude is so important. And it's almost like a grain of sand in an hourglass that starts to build a mountain. It can be as big as filling up a whole beach of
Absolutely.
sand.
Absolutely.
But you just start reflecting on it so that you can release your emotions and stress and everything else. So what have you done with your patients that you've had in the past?
Well, I think so. In having my master's degree and with the emphasis in marriage, family, child counseling, and that I was practicing for about 13 years, working in the helping profession. One of my favorite therapists was Aaron Beck, and he's the one that came up with cognitive behavioral therapy, which truly is about how your thoughts affect your feelings, which affect your behavior. So it's going back and changing those thoughts. So waking up to have gratitude right from the start, for like a basic thing. Grateful that my eyes are working, grateful that my legs work. Those thoughts, that's a great way to start the day. And I think because anybody, just as much as it takes to get into when I or anybody that I know to get into a space of unhappiness and dark, it starts with our feelings.
Exactly.
I'm sorry, with our thoughts. Mm-hmm. So those thoughts can be switched, which can then change the second and the third, the progression of our feelings and into our behavior.
Yeah, and that's how I work with mindset. It starts with your core beliefs, what your thoughts are, your emotions.
Right.
Then your actions are triggered and you get your results. So sometimes you need to reverse engineer that to change your core beliefs so you can get, a better result at the end of the day. Right. And just like you, I foster my gratitude in the morning, either with meditation or I also, I run. So sometimes I just foster things while I'm running. Mm-hmm. And also I take in new gratitudes while I run, just to see that vividness of the green trees and the blue skies, even though it's raining today. Mm-hmm. It just puts a smile on my face. And that's the whole idea about gratitude, is that it puts a smile on your face. And once you smile, you get that oxytocin and everything else. So even hugging somebody or waving at somebody, which I did a lot over the last few years, it's really important. So having gratitude is a great feeling to have. And what I do is I offer people a 30-day health and mindset journal so they can track their gratitude. In this journal, it starts off with listing your gratitudes that you've had in the morning. Mm-hmm. And then the ideas that you had during the day and listing your gratitude at the end of the day. And you can get this by subscribing to my newsletter, which I'll give the link later on afterwards. But my whole point is you can print this out and you can use it forever. And it's great to review what's going on with your cells, because what may have been really small at the beginning and then it starts, building up, you'll see how well you have transformed over time, and you become a completely different person. So that's why it reshapes our perspective. So.
Absolutely, because what you're doing is you're empowering yourself, and having a journal to document how you're feeling and what's going on brings you a different sense of awareness, which that's had to affect change. So that's wonderful that you have that to be able to offer that to your clients.
Yes, I do that because it's really important, because not only does the mindset component come in there, but also, if they're having problems with their foods, there's an area for them to log their foods, and they can list any problems they may have, like reactions to what they ate that day. They can list their exercise, like what happened during that day. So it becomes a whole body review of their health.
Oh, an awareness. It's just, that's awesome, because it truly is just an awareness about what's going on with your body. What are your feelings, and we know that different ailments that are represented in the body, come from our different thoughts and get held in different places in our body, whether it's in our stomachs, our necks, our eyes, whatever it may be. I believe that's my philosophy, that I truly believe in the mind-body connection, and a huge proponent of Louise Hay too, and You Can Heal Your Life.
Oh, I love Louise Hay. Yes, I love
Right. What she was such a groundbreaker and trailblazer in what she created. Somebody gave me her book in 97, and I still have it, and all the pages are folded over, because so I would always to go back and refer to different things. But I used it for myself and also for my clients in therapy.
Yeah, I have the book Heal Your Body.
Mm-hmm.
So she is a pioneer in that, and
Mm-hmm.
she is really a wonderful resource. I think she passed away in
She did. Yeah.
2012 or something.
Yeah.
But
I forget how long it's been in all
it's
honesty.
it's interesting. She went to University High School, which is like the rival of Beverly Hills High School that I went to. But
Right.
I'm a lot younger than she is.
Yeah, she was like 80 something when she passed.
Yeah.
But to think about what she overcame in her health ailments in her life, and just life situations, it's just, truly practice what you preach.
Right.
And there's so many people, and she has that Hay House publication, and so.
Yeah, it's a nonprofit now. So, it's helping other people after she lives. So it's a really wonderful. That's where I send people to get the books if they're still available in print. So.
Oh,
yeah.
nice.
Yeah. So she's a wonderful author.
Mm-hmm.
And
Wayne Dyer.
What?
Wayne Dyer too, but he.
Wayne Dyer. Yes, Wayne Dyer is great too. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. That having mindfulness in the morning gets you going, but mindfulness in the day kind of unwinds you, so to speak. And one thing that I do is that I reflect on my gratefulness of what happened during the day, especially on tough days, because it really makes you search for that grateful things that are going on in that day. But
Absolutely.
I do it while I do my deep diaphragmatic breathing, and it kind of relaxes the parasympathetic. It activates the parasympathetic system, so that it relaxes the sympathetic system that is in control of flight and
right, your fight or flight.
So it just kind of unwinds me, helps me relax, helps me ease into sleep. And a lot of people can do different things. You can soak in a hot bath to do that.
Absolutely, with some Epsom salts or some lavender.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes for me, I notice if I'm starting to allow my thoughts to take over and to not in a good spot, and I to be very cognizant of that. So I'm like, okay, I need to bring some new information into my mind right now. So what I usually do at that time is scroll through like some of my old emails from other people that I follow, or to take out a book or of some sort, and wherever I choose to open up that book, that's what I need to know at that moment. And then it allows me like, okay, here we go. This is the thought. This is the place to be, and to be grateful for what I have, or walk outside of my house and go for a walk and switch it up, like get the blood pumping, if it's something during the day, like to help switch things up. Because our minds are so strong. They're so strong. They're so powerful. We're such powerful entities. It's really amazing. So where we can truly take ourselves from a place of total despair to and out of it. It's just, it's really, we're so powerful. And so it's just kind of being aware if you're starting to go in a place that doesn't feel good, like, okay, what do I got to do? What can I do? It doesn't have to be a whole major, like, let's sign up for a major thing. Like, it's something that can be a easy fix, switch, do it.
Yeah. And that's why I offer my clients neural tools too, because it could be a simple thing as a stop sign.
Right.
Once
Absolutely.
you're aware of something, you can just put a stop sign, or just put your hand in front of your head, stop
Right.
this feeling or thought process I have, because it's not
Right.
doing any service.
Right.
This is now, that was, if you're thinking about the past, that was then.
Right.
And put that behind you. And if you're dealing with something in the moment, I listen to things that are like mindfulness bells and things like that. There's also stuff online that you can get that, type of stuff to listen to help you relax. There's a lot of stuff that you can use for meditation.
Oh, absolutely. I feel like nowadays that there's so much more available to us than there was before, when now having access to the internet. And I think a big thing that has been for me lately is sound baths. I'm really
baths. Yeah, those are wonderful.
Oh my gosh, they're so powerful, and because I've always been a huge proponent of yoga and working out. That's just, I believe that truly helps with the mind-body connection and good thoughts, and get those endorphins flowing. And that's why you run for, in your mornings. But yeah, I just think that, and I think it's just part of knowing who we are, like what's going to work for me. Like what works for me is not always going to be the same of what's going to work for somebody else. And
exactly.
That's why you can provide and, do avenues to help people so that they can figure out, okay, how can you best advocate for them and doing. And so you're fabulous at that. I do have to say that. You really are. And you have such a wonderful, like, nurturing soul. So it's just like being around you, like you just feel your true caring, and like I don't want to say like it's matronly, but it's motherly. It's such a that was my experience. And I've been around you a couple times, many times, and so it's a fabulous feeling of energy that you provide. So I have to tell you that.
Oh, thank you. Well, I think we are like spirits, kindred spirits, because when I first met you, it's like, wow, she does this, but she used to do that. And then we started talking about things.
Right.
Some more things. I don't do yoga, I do Pilates.
Right. But we have so many things that are very similar.
Very similar, yeah. And we both worked in the entertainment industry at one time.
Right.
So, it's interesting, but and doing different things. But
right. Yeah.
and I was glad to leave.
Me too. Me too. Especially, and that's a whole nother side note. And with the strike, I feel so bad for the crew, and anybody. There are so many people that survive based on productions going on, in Los Angeles and in the other states where a lot, shooting's done, but it's just so filtered out.
I get a feeling of that a little bit because I was kind of furloughed when the company decided to do everything in Vancouver that I worked for. So yeah, I got a little flavor of that, but
Yeah.
I survived. But right
Right.
now it's a tough time, and that's why it's really important to meditate, to be
Mm.
grateful, to look
Right.
at those little nuggets because they're there. You just need to cherish them and putting them in a book. I used to do photo books too. Putting
That's good.
putting them in a book just you know brings a smile on your face. Even these photo books, um,
Mm-hmm.
and they bring up really wonderful memories. You know, so there's something to think about. To journal, make photo books.
Yeah, I
Write.
was just going to say those photo books. That's just a different way of journaling, or
Yeah,
post vision boards. And
vision.
too, another thing that I believe is really powerful to remember is that this isn't how it's going to stay forever.
No,
So if
it's not.
anybody's in a place of feeling of despair, this isn't how it's going to stay, and this isn't how you were meant to stay.
No, it will
This is just
change.
one moment, one small moment, and you have the power to affect change. We're all very powerful beings, and that can affect change and move things forward and choose to look at it, because it's all about perspective. And
Hmm.
I think that's interesting that you were saying about when you were on your run this morning, and what you chose to notice this morning, which was different. And that's down the same street every single day and always choose to see the same thing or think of the same, oh, the traffic's always so bad here. This is always the worst route or whatever it is. But if we can take ourselves out of that moment and you can see, and I did that to myself the other day, but same way I take to go to my yoga studio. And all of a sudden I went, oh my gosh, there's a grocery store. It was an Asian food grocery store. And I'm like, oh my God, I have never seen that in the 80 million times. But I was trying to take myself out of my routine and
Yeah.
thinking and seeing things exactly the same, because I'm like, I need to switch this up. That's just, I have to do that to myself. So to look, and it was like, oh my goodness, love that. So it's just, we have to choose to see things differently.
Yeah, see things differently. And not only that, during my runs, I always say hi to everybody. And some people are like,
Yeah.
who's that?
Right. It's always nice to say good morning.
Right.
I know. I love saying good morning to people out there. They're kind of like, what?
I know they're just not used
Some
to
are, but other people smile and are like, good morning.
it.
And
Exactly.
happy to have somebody to say hello to.
Exactly. And you know what? They've become friends. They've got to know me and things like that. So
Which is so nice.
yeah,
And
smiling at somebody or just saying hi
yeah.
uplifts everyone's spirit.
Oh, absolutely. You don't know what that person has going on and what they just went through that day. So it's always nice. That's what I always tell people too, is just, it's take the high road, be a good human, say hello, smile
Mhm.
at somebody. We don't know what somebody's going through or what they had to experience that day. So if we have a moment and feeling good, and share that with somebody, they'll appreciate it.
Yeah, and even do a random act of kindness. I mean,
Yeah.
all these
Right.
things, and say thank you and spread
Oh my
appreciation
gosh.
because that
Please
really
and
warms.
thank you.
Yeah, people. It just warms their heart. They're like, "Oh, you said thank you."
It
Yeah,
does.
I meant it.
Right? I feel like that's kind of such a lost. I don't want to say that it is, because there are also a lot of wonderful people in this world. And I think that it's so important. Those words, those are just, think of letters put together, random letters put together. And then you repeat that to somebody to say thank you. That can be, that can change somebody's day in their
It,
world.
it can
I mean,
change.
I don't want to say their world, but it can change somebody's day.
Yeah,
Just being kind.
just being kind or buying somebody that's behind you a frozen yogurt or a coffee or whatever you do.
Right.
It's
Right.
you're human, they're human, you're noticing them and you're saying, have a good
Right.
day.
I mean, and we can't even begin to talk about what's going on in the world, because then that's a whole nother.
Yeah, we don't want to. Because
Mm-mm.
they'll bring
So,
you down.
yeah,
The
and
one,
that's, yeah.
the one thing that you want to do is not watch so much news, because all they
Oh,
do is
yeah,
send you negative stuff.
absolutely.
And
I stopped watching the news when I was working as a children's social worker, and my catchment area was South Central and Expo Park. I made a decision at that time. I didn't need to see, and the news is very different in the United States, I truly believe, than in Europe. We have to know that I'm going to say this though, news channels, they are for profit. They're not a nonprofit business. So their intention is to grow their business. Like for me doing mortgages, my intention, I'm a for-profit business. So I want to grow my business and provide mortgages to as many people in different states. The news channels want to get as many people as they can to subscribe and listen. And so sometimes their approach is to get people very worked up and cause a lot of debate and discussion, because then people are going to tune in and see. So we have to, Anchorman. I don't know. Did I ever tell you my philosophy about that? Did you ever see Anchorman 2?
Oh, I didn't see Anchorman 2, but I know
Okay.
it's a shock. They looking for the shock factor,
Absolutely.
because it
Absolutely.
gets people's attention. And
Right.
people
Right.
think about 60 men think about 60,000 thoughts a day. Women think about 80,000 thoughts a day, and the majority of it's negative. And it's and that's why it's really important to foster positivity, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Oh, and just talking about positivity, sometimes if I have to, at the end of the day, I will watch a funny movie just so I can just laugh and switch it up.
Yeah.
And just laugh silly.
Yeah.
So.
I don't know when I get these things, but sometimes I just go into puns. And it makes people laugh. But it has to be off the cuff, it doesn't happen all the time. But just laughing is so healthy for you.
Oh my gosh, absolutely.
That
And it's
brings on
interesting because it works your stomach muscles too, so you can get a workout.
Exactly. And we were talking before the brain gut connection. If your brain's all foggy and things like that, your stomach is going to feel nervousness and everything else. And if you try to be healthier and eat a healthier diet, you'll have less of that.
Absolutely.
But you also have to work the brain. It's not just your body. You have to work the brain.
Right. It's because again, those thoughts affect our feelings, which affect our behaviors. So it's truly the mind-body connection. That's why it's all together. We're all like, it's not separate entities. So it's just, and that's again where you can provide, such a great support and services to people that are struggling or just even want to learn more, about who they are and what works best for their body and what eating programs or supplements like you did for me. I think that's also, that's a valuable service that to be able to provide.
Yeah.
And it's non-invasive, which is even
it's non-invasive. Yeah, it's your choice.
It's super easy. So
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to talk about that, but that's.
Well, one thing that I do offer, because we're talking about mindset, is I do help people with reframing, because a lot of times they don't move forward because they're too scared to move forward. So let's say we talk about somebody that's been heavy for a long, long time and hasn't been successful. Sometimes that layer around them, they're using it as a protection due to something that happened in the past.
Right, it is.
And so I help them, find that root cause and help them release it if need be. And I also help them, every client, what do you want to be at the end of your health journey? Whether it's it could be weight loss, it could be any type of health journey. What do you want what is your ideal vision of yourself at the end? So they can visualize themselves, because it's not going to happen overnight. Sometimes it's going to, I believe 50 pounds in 6 months, and then I lost another 20 pounds. So I've kept it, I'm at, keeping my weight off over 10 years at 70. But my whole point is
Which
that
is huge.
it was just huge. And it's because
Yeah.
I changed my reframing of what I ate. I changed
Right.
my reframing of how I felt. And I worked with myself. I've worked with Tony Robbins. I've worked with Michael Burnoff. I've worked with, Deb Erickson.
Mm-hmm.
And these are all mindset people.
Mm-hmm.
And one of my mentors is actually Dr. James Rouse, he's actually has a news segment on in Colorado, but he does these great positive lives that he does for 5 minutes.
Nice.
And his mentor is Jackie Lane. So he's kind of like Jackie Lane. He's also a naturopathic doctor too. So
Wonderful.
He's a great, uplifting, positive person. And
Yeah.
I get a lot of my information from him and others, and I kind of just marry it into a little soup of my own. And
Which is perfect. Yeah. And I want to say something real quick just for people that are listening. Even though somebody is to work as a healer or a therapist or, life coach, anything, I think it's important for everybody to know everybody has bad days.
Mm-hmm.
You're never 100%, 100% at the time. Like that's not normal. Everybody, it's just, but so I just want to make sure, just so I don't want anybody to think that, you once you become evolved or aware like that, you've reached the top of the mountain. Like it's never like that. I think, we're all here to learn and grow and figure out what works best for us. What do we need to do? Who do we like as our mentors to incorporate into our life to give us that guidance? Whatever that is, but I think that's important to know it, because I don't want anybody to feel like, at least for me, that I'm speaking of a place that everything's always 100% perfect and I have all the answers, and
No.
it's just about it.
No, yeah. Being perfect is not a really ideal thing to do,
right?
Because it creates so much hardship, and you judge yourself against others. You got to release judgment.
Oh God, absolutely.
And
acceptance. Acceptance of who you are and who your body is and what you can do. Like that is taking it to the gratitude, circling it back to what originally to talk about.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah. Because I think gratitude truly is the building block of everything else that we, in our life, and what we can do from there. If you don't have that stability and that gratitude for who you are and what you're like, it's going to be hard to move forward and grow.
It helps you find your life purpose. It really does. And just like healthy habits where they build upon each other, and sometimes you have to start small and then, move forward. Gratitude is the exact same way. That's why I say it's like a grain of grain of sand and an hourglass that adds up over time.
Yeah.
So
sorry, go ahead.
That's okay. It eventually becomes a beach. But anyways, you're about to say?
Shoot. Now I just lost my train of thought.
Okay. You know what? Other people express gratitudes in different ways. And, if you think about it, people pray over meals because they're grateful to have a meal on the table. And people are like, well, you paid for that. That's why you have a meal on the table. No, you're able to do that. You're able to provide for your family. You're able to do all the stuff. It is something important to pay attention to. And then people pray at night to release their worries. So that comes into gratitude too, your faith. So
absolutely.
Yeah,
I believe that. Absolutely. Faith, because it's a belief, whatever your belief is in that higher power, or however you want to term it. But there is a faith and believing, and that knowing this isn't how it's going to be forever. And you have the power. We all have the power to make changes and move forward and be grateful for where we are. And even though sometimes if situations aren't the best or something, I know it sounds so cliche, but it truly is that we can truly learn and grow from our experiences. And let me tell you, I've had lots, and there's been times where I'm like, oh my God, seriously? Universe? Really? But I'm like, you know what? Don't keep moving forward. Keep moving forward. Trust. Be grateful. Find one thing to be grateful for. What,
that's all you need to do. And,
one thing.
sometimes you get off a bad phone call, and you're like, okay.
Yeah.
And I'll listen to some music or whatever I need to do. I listen, I grab for things I'm really grateful for, because that is another redirect,
Yeah.
So whatever you pivot for is what you need to do, whether you
Music is a great redirect. Yeah, absolutely. And whatever that music, whatever it is that you like, that can, because as soon as you can start singing a song, you're switching up.
You're switching up, and that's what you need to do when things don't go exactly as planned. I'm not gonna say go your way, go exactly as planned.
Yeah, we think we do.
Yeah, because your life evolves because it evolves, but you do have control over it to a certain point. You can control what's happening to you, but you can't control what's happening outside of you.
Right. And you can control your response. Yes. And how you take that in and how you deal with that. Absolutely. So we are in control. We can't control the outside, but we can control our insides, and our inside, which is our thoughts, to affect our feelings, which affect our behaviors. Yeah.
Exactly. And actions and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
So the whole thing is that if things are just, not going the way you think they should be going, or whatever you think, you just start bringing in gratitude and remember, oh, I did this wonderful thing, and it just puts a smile on your face. So you can look at that journal, you can look at, the vision board, so you can look at, that picture, because you didn't quite get through a plateau. I will get there.
Right.
Time.
Absolutely. Knowing that you have the power. Absolutely. That's so huge. So huge to be able to impart to people, is that knowing that everybody that you do to hold a power, and that's in our thoughts, and to go with the gratitude and know that, it's to move forward. Yeah. But gratitude is just, it's so powerful. It truly is.
Yes, it is, because anything is possible. And and anything is figure outable.
Right. Exactly. Reach out to whoever that is, your coach, your friend, who can you talk to that can give you, to help you just switch up your perspective and look at something so basic, to have, like having a roof over your head, having a car that works, that can drive, that your legs can, whatever it is, there's always something to be grateful for.
Yeah.
In your whole environment, there has to be one thing there.
There is always something to be grateful for, and there are different things you can do. And we've already talked about the exercise, and when you exercise outside, it gives you more vitamin D. And vitamin D.
Oh, absolutely. Definitely. Yeah, there's a whole different thing about exercising outside, and I just played pickle last weekend, and it was just, it's so much fun, and it's to be, pickle it's such a nice sport, because people have majority of people have a much easier philosophy or to play versus tennis. But that's
it's a little bit more relaxed.
It is, and people are more apt to want to have fun and laugh and kind of. But I think if you're playing on a tournament level, that's a whole different thing. But I'm just talking like on a social. But it's different, like to do an activity outside and in the sun if you can.
Yeah, I'm really big on ecotherapy, because when you're hiking in the mountains, the whisper of the wind, it's relaxing. The sound of the trickling river, a creek, kind of just soothe your soul.
Absolutely.
And the birds singing. It's just wonderful. And again, near the ocean, it's just the lapping of the waves and hitting our feet, and how, the sand kind of makes you nice and cushy.
Right? I mean, just you talking about it is already like making me like, oh wow, I'm very relaxed now.
Yeah. So, but, the ecotherapy is a wonderful thing, and you can do it in season. You can be skiing. I mean, you could be skiing in Aspen, and you're listening to the quaking of the leaves and the powders glistening in your face and your hair, and you just have fresh air, and it's cool.
Right. So there's, and it, just as you're saying that too, so that's choosing to, you have that as your perspective to look at it that way. And looking at the beauty of Mother Nature
and life.
Yeah, which is, and that's so, it's so important. It's just, and it's about that perspective, how you choose to view your environment.
Exactly.
And have gratitude for those little things, and hearing the bird chirp or the wind blow in the trees and all of that.
Yeah, birds just are so sweet, and that always puts a smile on my face. I mean,
me too. Me
so,
too. I love hummingbirds.
Other ravens, but other birds.
They have their purpose too. They all do. All the animals.
Do.
Yeah, but I love the hummingbirds. I have a little hummingbird feeder on my patio. And I love it when they come. But my little puppy, she doesn't.
She barks at them.
I have to tell her to be nice to the birdies.
Oh, that's funny.
She just doesn't want anybody else getting my attention besides her.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny. Well, this is a wonderful conversation we're having.
Yes, so nice. Thank you, Debbie, so much, truly, for having me on. I am truly grateful for you. I'm grateful for your friendship and your wonderful advice and guidance. You're such a fabulous woman.
I'm really grateful I got to meet you, because we're kindred sister spirits, and I can bounce things off of you and things like that. So, it's been really wonderful becoming your friend. So.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that, truly.
So, but I want you to stay around, because I want to ask you later on.
Okay, you got it.
One thing that I want to talk about again is my book. There's that oh gosh, I can't see this. The bestseller seal from Amazon, being #1 bestseller for Rising Women. And it's a whole bunch of stories of 25 women and myself about their journey and their transformation. So you can get something out of it, reading from other people's stories, and grateful that you didn't experience some of this stuff. And for $20, for $25 for the signed copy. You can email me at https://www.debichangeslives.com. Linktree, that's DEBICHANGES lives, LIVES.com. And I want you to remember that from that same link tree, you'll find a place where you can set up an appointment for a complimentary consultation and for mindset or wellness. And I'm also doing Zeta scans now. Marcia actually did the Cradle Zeta scan, but I have a brand new offering that you can actually do on the phone now, and I can do it remotely. I don't know how well you read that.
Wow.
But, and it gets similar things. So what it looks at is your energetic, functional, and emotional status of your body, and brings it to the different body systems like you experienced with the Zeta scan. So why don't you tell other people what that was like?
It was really interesting, and again, non-invasive at all. So it basically, what we did is to put my hand on, I guess you would just,
cradle.
On the cradle. Thank you very much. And held it there, and it was able to read in a sense, like different vitals and what was going on, which is so interesting. And then to be able to provide a healthy solution to those. And some of that was through different herbs, aromatherapy, and just different also guidance about exercise and massage, or it was chiropractor. I found it so interesting, and also really true, because knowing what's going on in my life right now, and where I'm needing a little extra supports, it gave exactly without me saying anything.
That's fine. But, it ties, like we said earlier, your emotions actually tied to certain organs, like anger is tied to the liver. So you don't want to be angry all the time. That's why gratitude is so important. And that's the whole thing when it talks about emotions. You need to learn to release these emotions.
Right.
So thank you for that feedback. And I want you guys to remember that that I need to know your interest in the Beach Reveal Retreat that is in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. You'll be starting with my weight loss journey on March 1st. So you need to sign up before March 1st. You'll be going through that 6-month program where I will guide you to release your weight. There'll be an onboarding week, meal plan instructions, 23 weeks of Zoom. And then after the 6 months, there's going to be an accountability group where I'll be on Zoom for once a month and answering questions on the group, Facebook group. And it's private. And then we will have Julie Ann from House of Influence come in as well. And remember, I'm going to give you tips and tricks on how to write your chapter by remembering certain things about your journey. And then you get to write all this stuff in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, and you can enjoy the beach, enjoy good food, meet new friends. Actually, you becoming friends with these people because you're going to be on that weight loss journey together. And the price of this whole package with my coaching and Julie Ann's retreat is $3,997. And there is a payment plan. And once you sign up, you just save that date for November 6th to the 13th. And if you want a little bit more information about how you're going to do the weight loss journey and write your transformational chapter in that book, you can go to my show on that called Beach Reveal Retreat, which I created a link for it, which is https://bit.ly/beach reveal show. And you'll find out more about that. And I want to just tell you that you guys need to get that health and mindset journal. And you can do that by subscribing to my newsletter and get updates about my show and events I have at https:// there was a colon before the / bit.ly/radio TV show. And you'll get that as a gift. It will help you with your mindset. It will help you with logging your foods and knowing what foods are good for you. It will help you track your exercise, and you can review it, which I highly recommend, so that you know what's working for you and what's not. And hopefully you'll help me as a coach that can help you point out things as well. But at least you have this journal to get you going, okay? So, Marcia, thank you for joining me on the show. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome. And if anybody's in need or interested in a free mortgage analysis, then I'm more than happy to help them. To give my website is Mortgages with Marcia.
Exactly. And there's also a little scroll thing that kind of gives that to you too.
Oh, nice. Thank you.
You're welcome. So anyways.
Thank you.
I really enjoyed the show with you, Marcia, and I'm sure my audience
too. That was great. I hope I can come back for another topic.
Oh, yes. You're more than happy to. More than happy to have you again. And I guess we have a little bit more time before I close up. Is there any more insights you want to give people about gratitude? No, we have 2 minutes. Sorry. So one insight, and then I have to wrap up.
I just feel like I want to just say one thing to people. Don't get discouraged. Try not to get discouraged. Find one thing. There has to be one thing in your life to be grateful for. And so focus on that. And that's just your one thing. And think about your bed that you get to sleep in, blankets, like one thing.
Simple things. And then you can add up.
Total
and add
simple.
on to that. Exactly.
Yep, exactly. Start it nice and simple like that. Debbie was saying, one piece of sand in the hourglass. One piece, tiny.
Yeah. So continue to join my show, radio and TV show, Debi Changes Lives, where your holistic journey begins. Bye-bye.